Dr. Vidya Yaravdekar, Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Rajiv Yaravdekar, Provost, Dr. Ramakrishnan Raman, Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Shejul, Registrar, Ms. Shraddha Chitali, Controller of Examinations, faculty, most important, graduating students, and your near and dear. It is a great pleasure to join the 22nd convocation of the Symbiosis University. Let me extend my congratulations to all those who would be conferred their degrees today. I also felicitate the entire Symbiosis family on this occasion, knowing that each new cohort makes you even prouder of your contribution to both nation building and international relations. On such an occasion, it is natural to reflect on the time when I was myself in your situation. Clearly, the world was a very different place, perhaps less complex, but also with less options and less opportunities than there are now. It was not only that the world has undergone a radical transformation, so too has our own society and nation. What all of you are seeing, learning, and experiencing would have been beyond our imagination then. Those who are graduating today definitely have a different skill sets, much wider knowledge base, and far greater confidence. And that is great because after all, you are the generation that has the responsibility for taking us to Viksit Bharat. Let me take you back to what the world was like around the time of my graduation. It was a few years after the creation of Bangladesh. We had the West and China ranged against us alongside Pakistan. This will probably come as a surprise to a generation which has grown up thinking of the West largely in friendly terms. In response, we forged a strong strategic bond with the Soviet Union. Gulf nations at that time were then the backwaters, not the powerhouse that they are today. Southeast Asia was barely developing, just emerging, and certainly not conceived of as the holiday destinations which some of you may have today used. Radical policies, radical politics was much more a global fashion at that time, especially for developing countries. Our relations with the non-aligned world, what we call the global south today, were cordial but not necessarily substantive. In our immediate neighborhood, the civilizational connect was obviously there, but that was not the case with the economic and infrastructural linkages that now exist. Our foreign trade was very limited, and so too was travel abroad. Of course, through all this, we held our own and maintained a notable international profile. Now, the state of our society was also markedly different. Remember, I'm talking to all of you about the pre-reform era. Economic growth was low, shortages were rampant, licensing controls were pervasive, and social indices not great. In fact, how to communicate a rationing system to those who are used to choices and plenty is itself a great challenge. There were limitations, not only of income, but even of availability. When we, at that time, bought two-wheelers, leave alone cars, refrigerators, television sets, believe me, it was a once-in-a-life purchase. Telephones and passports were a great privilege. Much of what we take as a given today, I want to stress, was simply beyond our reach then. But here is the lesson. If we have progressed so much by discarding that socialist model, by going forward with our own authentic beliefs and entrepreneurship, ask yourself, when the foundation is so much more solid and as we get empowered by technology, how much further can your generation take the nation? In this environment, our understanding of the world, I must also tell you, was limited. And by the way, it was through very different mediums. Books, radio, later on television, and newspapers were the main source of information.